Hey guys, my name is Anzo, and you're watching the Anzo channel, like Disney Channel, right? So today we're going to be talking about an interesting topic, a topic that I'm going to need some help explaining and talking about this guy because everyone's talking about him. His name is Carlos Correa, and we don't have Carlos Correa. We have a different Puerto Rican on here, a legendary Yankee fan, someone that I created a podcast with. And we're going to be sharing a little bit of the insight on how exactly that dynamic is going to be like. But stay tuned because we're going to be talking about how Carlos Correa is the new A-Rod. Okay? So Carlos Correa is the new A-Rod. Why is that? I have one of my closest friends here. His name is Israel Navarro, and he's going to be sharing with us his opinion on why Carlos Correa is A-Rod. Israel?
Hey, thank you so much, Anzo, for inviting me today to this video. And yes, we together we are doing the Ford Train podcast, where we're going to be talking about all things Yankee baseball. We're going to bring you guys different topics, obviously on a weekly episodic basis. So obviously, guys, in the description below, you're going to have the link to subscribe to the channel, so that way you guys do not miss out any of the exciting content we bring you on the Ford Train podcast. So let's dive into this interesting topic. Is Carlos Correa the new Alex Rodriguez for the New York Yankees? I think obviously after his Derek Jeter comment, obviously we can see the guy has a huge ego, but he so does deserve it. If we look at what he has accomplished, being the first Puerto Rican ever to be drafted #1 on that year he was drafted. Obviously, he's been an outstanding player for the Houston Astros. Yes, he can't win a World Series without cheating, but this is a guy that's in a position to ask money. The Yankees need him. The Tigers need him. Every team needs him. Even the Houston Astros, for an instant, they're a team that still needs him. But the question is, does he deserve more than $300 million? Yes. If we look at his stats alone, obviously 2018, 2019, 2020, he wasn't so hot, but he did pick himself back up, especially this past season in 2001, where he won a Silver Slugger award. He's obviously a Golden Glove winner and was the leader for the Houston Astros. So if he joins the New York Yankees, let's say this is the big one. If we don't know, if Cashman's willing to put the money out there to sign him. But if he is, he's going into a locker room where Aaron Judge is the leader. He is Derek Jeter. That guy is basically the captain of the New York Yankees. He's in charge of the locker room. He is the face of the New York Yankees. When I used to go to Yankee Stadium, it was Derek Jeter that was the numbers you would see on kids' back. Now it's Aaron Judge. The guy's the leader. Obviously, he's been very adamant about wanting to win a World Series for the Yankees. He's been adamant about his frustration this past season. He's vented all these things out. But is he going to be willing to let Carlos Correa in? If he puts his pride and says, hey, this is for the better good of us bringing a championship to New York, he's going to say yes. But we already saw that he was hurt when Jose Altuve came out cheating. Obviously, he deleted his post off of Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, he edified Jose Altuve as a great player, but after he learned that Jose Altuve cheated to get to that point, obviously, he deleted that. So if he's willing to allow that and accept it, saying, hey, Carlos Correa, you have to prove you won a World Series. You have to prove you are a solid world star. If I was Judge, this would be my thing. Because obviously, at the end of the day, he can vent his opinion, but Cashman, Steinbrenner are the ones that say, let's do this. So if the Yankees, but let's say tomorrow, announce Carlos Correa 10 years, $350 million, just putting a number out there, Carlos Correa is going to play for the New York Yankees. Well, if I'm Judge, I'm the leader of the locker room. I'm going to allow this guy to come in. I'm going to sit with him private as well in front of the clubhouse. I'm going to say, hey, you have a lot of controversy to your legacy. That 2017 season now is marked in your legacy, and obviously when you're going to be a Hall of Fame ballot, people are going to remember that. Are you qualified to be in the World Series? In the Hall of Fame, excuse me. Are you willing to put your ego to a side and work with us as a team to win a World Series? Are you going to help us deliver what we need to bring New York the 28th World Series? And B, C, are you going to leave the ego to a side and play baseball and be a part of the team? And yes, we could take your experience, your knowledge in baseball, and you can use it, but understand I'm the leader here. This is my locker room, and you abide by my rules.
Yeah, Judge would have to definitely sit down and have a conversation with Cashman, one, because Cashman, same thing like how he did with another player on the team before bringing him on, he asked Judge. Judge is basically the captain of the Yankees, and so I definitely agree. If Judge says yes, I think he would have more problem with Altuve, but if he were to say yes, it's because he wants to win. Judge isn't getting younger. And anytime soon, no one is, right? So he's going to want to win. He's going to want to say he's one of the greatest Yankees, and the only way to say that is if you win at least one championship to prove it. And I think Carlos Correa is his chance to have a solid shortstop, because in reality, who did Judge during his time with the Yankees actually have as a solid shortstop? No one really, right? At least Jeter had a solid third baseman, and you had that 1-2 punch right there, and not counting Teixeira and all the other amazing players on that 2009 championship team. But you definitely need someone else. Giancarlo Stanton has shown that he could be that, but imagine a Carlos Correa with postseason experience. You add that with Giancarlo Stanton, like clutchness, that would be an epic duo to see. And like Israel said, I feel like he would be like the new villain. Everyone's talking about it as if everyone hates him, right? Everyone saw that interview about how he was defending Altuve and just saying, cursing and all this stuff. I hated him. I don't know about you, Israel, but I hated the guts out of this guy. On Instagram, I was going off. But he's a winner. At least in his stats and his attitude, he has what it takes to win. Say what you want to say about the Astros cheating. The Astros did go to the World Series, even though they didn't win. I think that's just karma that they didn't win again. But they did end up going there. And the Yankees haven't gone. And they have great players, but the Astros made it. So, and Carlos Correa, maybe if you take him out of that team, the Astros won't make it as far. Carlos Correa is definitely one of the key players on that team. So, Carlos Correa is just a cheater, So, at the end of the day, you got to get that villain, put it aside. A-Rod had his cheating scandal, not only in his personal life, but also with his gameplay, steroids, and all that stuff. So I think if you get Carlos Correa, he's a new villain. He's a new A-Rod, and he might cause some conflict with Judge. Judge is like the Jeter, right? Whenever you see an interview with Judge, you see him so calm. You see him as like, yes, and everything, blah, blah, blah. And he's a leader, right? He's not going to have a huge controversy or anything. He's the type of guy that you want to have as a friend. But A-Rod, on the other hand, he had, what did he have? He had a half man, half horse, a portrait of himself as the half horse in his house, and he would just stare at himself in the mirror. A lot of weird stuff, but it worked for him. And A-Rod was a winner. Even though before then he didn't win a championship, he came to the team ready to bring his talents. And so even though people didn't like him, he was celebrities here, distractions here. Jeter stayed in his lane. They didn't like each other, but they ended up winning. So who's not to say that could be, the new Judge and Correa factor if Correa does decide to sign. Unless Correa is scared of New York and wants to go to Detroit and try to win something. Good luck. You'll be the next Manny Machado. You'll be the next Bryce Harper in a city that has potential, but in reality, are you guys going to win? Probably not. Not like the Yankees have the chance every year to win it. So, yeah, Carlos Correa, I would say give him 350, 10 years. That will do it. Negotiate with him, give him 8 years, and then maybe give him 37 million instead. I think that would be the number. But from reports, they're saying that they're just monitoring. The Yankees are just watching, just watching what's happening there, and they're probably more interested in Semien. So who knows exactly? But I say get the new A-Rod. Israel loves A-Rod. I love A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez, awesome dude. But I would say get him. This guy. What was his stats? 279 last year, 155 hits, 555 at bats. In 2020, in the short season, he had 264 batting average. His career's 277, and yeah, he's close to 800 career hits. The guy, he's going to be a solid kid on the team. He's only about 27 years old, born in 1994. It's crazy to think, but he could be the next Yankee shortstop. I don't know, Israel. What do you think? You think that this could be a real reality for the Yankees to actually sign the new villain?
If the Yankees are willing 100% to open the bank to sign him, yes.